Hello, today is 5/17/23. As usually, just want to say that this is only for a few people. These meetings are by invitation only. People that I see that they have a burning desire to make this happen. And it's not coaching, it's accountability program. Something that we're trying to make us accountable is to show up. We know people's gonna quit and it's okay. But we don't want to quit, so we want to be ones to help us each other, to push each other. Sometimes we push so hard that people quit. It's okay, but you don't want to be that person. So, and it's also okay to fail, to forget, but you come back. So happened to me many times. I mean, I run in the morning every day. I haven't run for 2 weeks, so I need to come back to start running in the morning. So it's all happened. It's not the failure. The failure is their lesson, but most important is when you come back. So that's the whole idea about this program. Let me show you something about, I don't know if you know, and you should follow this guy. Is Darren Harry, is the CEO and the founder of Success Magazine. If you guys read the book from Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich, so I would say Napoleon Hill was the original founder of Success Magazine, but they stopped to circulating because whatever happened and the magazine stopped. But then Darren Harris is the one who took over, and he's the one. It's like the new Napoleon Hill, because he has interviewed so many successful people, and I follow him, so you should follow that guy too. Also, there's another book called Clockwork. It's about how to control your time so you can be more effective. So what I did, I combined those two ideas in one, and I'm gonna share it. And the one that I sent it to you already, because sharing, I wanna share this is something else. Let me open this one. I'll share this form so I can explain you how it works. Let me move you guys here, okay? So this is the form. This is the way it works. And this form is done so you can become yourself accountable. It's always better to have someone to can be on top of you. You want somebody to push you all the time, and you want to push that person. Henry Ford, at one time, they asked him, who is your best friend? He asked to the friend, and everybody say, my mom, my uncle, whatever, my daughter. And he said, no. And he brought on a napkins and a bar. And he said, the best friends is the one the best out on you. So that's me. I want to get the best out in you so you can be a better person. That's the person who does that, that's your best friend. So what you want to do here is to, if you don't have that person, at least this form is going to help you. This is kind of a full example. First of all, this is weekly. It's a weekly rhythm register, and let's say you want to increase investors and you want to find properties. You can all the stuff here. Now the idea of this is that every day you're gonna write how many you have done, but before that you're gonna write. Let's say I want to follow with investor, so my goal for the week is to follow 2 investors. I want to find investor. I want to do 6 investor. I want to find 6 investors in the whole week. So networking, I want to go to 2 networking per week. Social media, I want to do 1 every day. So that's meaning I want to do 6. Supposedly here we take Sunday off. And then you want to go to a mayor convention. Maybe that one we don't do it bi-weekly, but you want to look for one once a week so you can go for it at least 4 or 6 per year. So the idea is that you call brokers. Another one, you call brokers. You're gonna call, I don't know, 12 brokers. You want to call. And the idea here, after you fill all your goals, what you want to do is when Mondays end, you're gonna say, "Did I follow an investor? No, I didn't." Now you know that you have to do it because you know number 2 is right here. So eventually on Tuesday, yes, you did 1. And then the next time you did 0, 0, 0, 0. So what happened? How many have you done? 1. So that means you're minus 1. You understand? So at the end of the day, you're gonna total here. let's say this total is 20. I'm not adding it, 20, but here you did all of it except one, so you're 19. So you're behind of your goal. You see, so you're like a 5% behind. You see it the way it is? Anybody has question? So that's a way that you can put your goal right here, because remember, most of the people, they put the wrong goal. What they do, they say, I want $1 million, or I want a Lamborghini. The goal should have the actions that you're gonna take to obtain the final items. So the goal should say, I wanna call so many brokers, I wanna close so many deals in order to obtain the Lamborghini. But if you don't put the actions before the goal and you don't repeat it, you're not doing anything. That's the reason. That's another book, by the way. That's a Miracle Morning. So he says that. So that's what most of the people, they do that mistake. They put the goal and they have the in the morning they repeat what they want, but they don't repeat the action they're supposed to say in order to obtain the goals that you're looking for. So this is something similar to that. So you are putting the actions, you are creating your small little goals, because then at the bottom right here, you have your big goals. Now, every morning, you're gonna have your goals here. I wanna have 1,000 units by the end of the year. Here you have ideas. You're gonna have, well, because you want this idea comes from here. We're gonna go over here now, something else. So here you have ideas that you're gonna write, because remember, if you do what everybody does, you're gonna get what everybody have. So you gotta do what people don't do so you can get what people don't have. You always have to think out of the box. I mean, I've been saying here, you don't call the brokers with yes, a phone call. The best communication with a broker is sending an LOI. That's the best communication. The second best communication is that you underwrite the deal, and then you have a communication with the broker about the deal. Don't ask the broker, send me deals. That's what everybody does. That's wrong. The broker is going to be annoying. So when you show the broker that you know what you're doing, they will have respect and they might send you deals. So the whole idea on this form is that you have your main goal. You said, okay, I want to do 1,000 units. What do I have to do 1,000 units? I have to do this task. Now you focus on the task, but you read your goal every day. And you also gonna come with ideas. Like, for example, I decided that, hey, how do I multiply? And that's the reason why we're meeting here, why I have so many small amount of people, because I said, my ultimate goal is to become a sponsor. A sponsor, they multiply by themselves because the student send the deals to them and they don't do anything. I mean, they do something, but they don't do so much effort. They just get the deals and they take action on it, and they close the deal and they teach the student. So I said, how can I multiply myself before I become a sponsor? How can I do what the sponsor is doing before I become a sponsor? So I say, why do I open an accountability program so we can be a very small group, so we can know each other well, and I can help. So eventually what's going to happen is I'm going to say, Luis, come into my team. So really, and then that's what we come together. So that's the reason. So that's something you have to come out with ideas that's going to be different from the rest. That's the part. The other part is this one. This is another book that shows about this. In every business, there is a 4 task: do, decide, delegate, and design. Bill Gates, for example. Bill Gates only design. That's it. But the guy in Apple that is selling the Apple phone, he's a doer. He's doing. The guy is not designing, he's not delegating. The supervisor of the guy in Apple is doing like a 30, 40, 20% perhaps, delegating, giving orders. So the guy who's a doer. So every business has doers, people who decide. You want, in other words, you want to have doers when you have a business, And when those doers makes their own decision and they take the right decision, then you can jump and become to delegate. That's when you become someone who delegate, when the team below you do and decide. After that, when the team that you have under you, they do decide and delegate, then you become a designer. That's the person who create. So now we are one person company here. We're not like a business. So what you have to do is that what kind of tasks that you have here on the left are involved in doing, are involved in deciding, are involved in delegating, or are involved in designing. For example, marketing, social media. I'm doing delegating. I hire someone that's going to start doing the videos and whatever, because I'm not good at it and I don't like it. So I'm paying someone now that's going to do it for me. So I'm delegating that task. So this, what you see here, 82, 810, that's the ideal percentage that you should be implementing yourself as a one person. Because you're one person, and because we're one, all of us, I mean, we're one company, one person, we have nobody to delegate. So we should be doing 80% doing. But most of the time, individuals, entrepreneurs, they do 100% doing, but they don't do design. And design is what takes you to somewhere better. You have to take time in the morning, at least for about half an hour, 1 hour, and just think, how do I make different my business? Where do I doing wrong? Should do it this way? Do I do it that way? What do I need to design in my job so I can implement it so I can be more effective? So you're gonna the decision has to be quick. That's why it's only 2%. And because we're one person, we start delegating. The more eventually, when you start making money and you're delegating more, that's the idea. You're gonna delegate to someone to become a doer. So clear in that so far. We got two steps already, right? If anybody has a question, interrupt me anytime. Now, the next one, the QBR is very important. The QBR means queen bee role. The bees have a queen, and all the bees are protect the queen. The whole jobs for the bees are to protect the queen. That's all they do all day long. The queen job is to create more eggs. If the queen dies, they have to replace a new queen, and then it's gonna create more eggs than new queen. But all the bees, what they do, they just simple protect the queen. So what that has to do with business? You have to identify in your business, what is your queen? What is the thing that you can delegate? What is the most important, and what is the most important thing? What is the thing that is most important in you? If you're raising funds, the most important, obviously we know, is to capture investor. The most important in that, in your case, could be communication with the investor. Now you have different tasks to communicate. You can do it by email, you can be a social media, all those things you can delegate. Now, do you need those in order to protect the queen? The queen is to communication with investors. You don't need social media to communicate with the investors, right? You can communicate yourself in other ways, but the most important is to be in communication with investors, because is that the only job you have? I'm trying just to put samples in our industry. So you have to identify what is the queen in what you do. Could be that at this moment in your life, your queen is not to find property. Your queen is to learn underwriting. That's your queen. So you have to do 80% doers. And perhaps many things that you have to do during the day, during your job, you have to try to either delegate, or you have to think how to implement better ways that you can go ahead during the underwriting process. But at the beginning, when you're learning how to underwrite, that's your queen. You have to protect your queen. Your queen is knowing underwriting. So you have to focus on that. So that's what the QBR is. You need to find what is the most important role in your life, and that's the thing you're gonna concentrate. Because most of the people, sometimes what happened, it happened to me for the last couple of days. I mean, happened to all of us. We're becoming like the goalkeeper in life, but not exactly the goaler, the one that is ahead. Goalkeeper is the one that only stopping problems and fixing problems, and then we don't end up doing anything to move ahead to make a goal and the other side. So we gotta be careful though to be as a goalkeeper in life. We wanna be also on the front line to start making goals. So that's another analogy that we can put in perspective. So hopefully you understand what this for, and you go ahead and use it every week. It's gonna be challenge at the beginning every week, but make your goals, and then as it goes, those goals you're gonna start making harder and harder on you, because you don't want to be in the comfort zone. You depends. Some people here work for somebody. Some people work by themselves in another job. It depends. Every goal is gonna be different. But the most important, you have to. What I love about this charge, look at this. You're concentrating on the things you need to do to make your goals. We're not worried about the goals. We know the goals. What we are worried about are the action that gonna make the goal happen. The actions. So right now on this form, you're gonna concentrate on the actions. If you're gonna do underwriting one here, you might put underwriting. I want to underwrite one property a day. Then you're gonna put one. Maybe you don't want to look for investor this time. Maybe you don't want to look for this. Maybe you want to do networking. Maybe you only want to do underwriting. But if you put underwriting, yes, you have to count how many. Maybe you have total 6, and then if you do only 4, now you short 2. So now your subconscious is gonna say, "Hey, something wrong with me. I gotta do something about it." You see, so now you -2. So whatever it is, so that's help you so you can train yourself, because otherwise we don't know where we are. When we know it's 6 months ahead, 6 months passed through, and what we did in 6 months, I don't know how that went so fast. You see, so we gotta be careful on that. So I hope you use this. It's a result of 3 books. This chart seems very simple because I made it as simple as possible. But ideas, this is not my idea. These ideas from huge, big people in life. Big people in life. It's nothing that I came up with it. I just put it together so it can be like a 2 or 3 ideas in one. So hopefully that's gonna help you. Any question on this form so we can move forward?
No, sounds pretty good. It's
All right.
awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, so let's put in practice, and then what we can do on the next Wednesday or the following Wednesday, couple of us, they can just come up and say, you know what, let me see where my goal is, and then you can share. Hey, look, it's okay. We can. I said it before. We cannot be ashamed of failure. It's okay to fail. So if you fail to continue to do the right way, it's okay. But if you don't say it, it's like Alcoholics Anonymous. The first thing they said that you have to accept it. It's the same thing. You have to accept it that you're failing and saying what you were supposed to be doing. And then if you bring it up to friends, now you don't see failure as something bad. You see failure as a challenge, so you don't do it the next time. So don't feel bad. That's why this meeting is only like a few people, because I would not communicate in a better way. It would be 100 people. I mean, some people are gonna, you see all those different personality, and people that are gonna get upset. Here, I choose people that I know they're tough. Sometimes I get confused that they're not, and they quit, and it's fine. But most of them, the people that come through, the people that they tough, and hey, I messed up. I'm supposed to be fired the right at D3. Now, as a team, we're gonna tell that person what you did not do, why you did not do the 5. Then you start telling me the reason why, and then we're gonna go over it. And it might come up in the conversation that you're watching too much TV, and then we have to cut the TV. or whatever. So we need to help each other so we can point out the other person and say why you're not doing that. And sometimes hurts when you do in front of people. But guess what? Have to hurt for you to change. Don't wait for a catastrophe to change your life. Why wait for the catastrophe to change your life? No reason. I mean, just do it before that happens. So that's the whole idea. So next time we might bring one of you guys, whoever wants to be the first one, so you can tell me how do you do that week? Maybe since already middle of the week, so not next Wednesday, but the following Wednesday, not the next one, the next one, the following, someone will show me how they did that whole week and what were the tasks that what are the tasks that you choose and what are the goals that you have, and then we can use it as an example so we can push ourselves. All right, deal. Let's see. So far, we have been doing this underwriting. If you're, I don't know how fast. I think Celeste, Trons, were practicing this, and I guess you have something similar also, Carolina and Mary. I don't know if you went through this. I think Mary only gave you this, but what I want to give you the second part of this sheet, how we're gonna work it out. So this is the first part. Let me see if I can give you an old deal that I did. Let me find one that I did. So we can see the Paul. I know Paul, I did it in three different underwriting. Okay. Okay. Oh. Okay. Any version is okay. This is one bit while ago. So you see all the numbers here, plug in, we know the sellers. I see the mistake many times. Keep in mind that the hours is gonna have to be always similar or higher than the seller, because that's where we taking the property over. So this is one of them. Now, this is something that we don't want, because we want to be give at least 3% cash flow to the investors. So I was playing with this before. So we're just gonna do some correction pretty quick. Oh. Okay, 274. Rate is no 6 this day. We might go 30%, so it's gonna fix it. Okay, so see. Nope. So this one works better, this 35. So something like that. So we have that. So after we fill this part, and before we go to the pro forma 10 years, anybody has a question about this part? This underwriting is kind of similar to everybody. Anybody has a question? Go ahead now.
I got a quick question. Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I had a property that was for 11.5, correct? So for this, for what that is, for D45, I have mine's like at negative 8.06, but I had changed the purchase price, and I was also changing the down payment and the just the down payment, but it wasn't moving at all, because it went to 11.5 to 2 million. I wanted to know, was that a bad deal, or it's a property I should just keep moving on, since I couldn't get the right number for the property to submit an offer.
The good thing is about this Excel is that the formula unlocked, so you didn't do nothing wrong. Most of the time, what's gonna trigger that number down there is gonna be, obviously the price is one, and any part of the income. Obviously, we don't want to talk. Obviously, any of these will make it gonna trigger, but we don't want to talk about it. This percentage is gonna make a big difference. Sometimes, and this property, the more down payment, it gets better, but that's normal. That's not normal. Normal is the other way around. The rate, and check this out, because this means interest only. We will have to bring it up, the property you have. Maybe you want to bring it next time, and then we'll look at it. Or if you have it there, I can give you access. Do you have it handy?
For the property?
Yeah.
I have to see what property that is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a lot of them. So
Okay, if you don't have it ready, it's okay. We can bring it
Yeah.
next time, so we can go over. But what's going to happen is going to treat the most important is going to be the price and the down payment.
mhm.
If you have the rate you cannot do anything about it. It's the rate is the rate.
Yeah.
So that's these two is going to make a huge impact on the cash on cash. Most of the times, if you have interest only on these, only the interest will not make a difference because interest only anyway. So I think it has to do with those two.
Yeah.
They're gonna make an impact. And if it
I
became minus, it's because it didn't word it appropriately.
Okay. I even tried to change the E43, the RGP, to try to make the numbers work, but it wouldn't work. Sometimes I go to 33%, and sometimes, like you said, if it's a big purchase price, try at 25%.
Yeah. This one, this Excel sheet doesn't have something that Michael Blank has, the preferred return. But not most of the time you want to keep it on no more than 25. Most of the sponsors they want to keep it on 30%. Put it that way. So has to be a large deal like a $30 million, $40 million. When we're getting a good acquisition cost, then we can just go 25%. But I don't see anywhere people going 80-20. 70-30 is the norm.
Okay, no problem.
So you keep it that way, yeah. Okay, so any other question? We're gonna go on this part. So this supposed to be the day that we took the property. Now, the beautiful about this is that when we start doing the business plan these days, because it's not that easy in these days. I mean, the way it is the market, most of the time you're gonna see 5 and 7 years disposition. So you always want to start with the 7 years, just in case you need to play around to see which one works. On these forms, the most important here is, first of all, is the year disposition. That's going to make a big impact in your underwriting. Sometimes you want to go 7 years. If it's 7 years, everything change. So now, when you change it to 7 years to 5 years, some sheets of these programs automatically they calculate the cap entrance to the cap exit. So in other words, we have a cap that we're buying right now, 5.8. So the rule is a minimum per year, you should increase 0.1 cap. So if I have 5.8, I need to add 0.7 to the cap. So just to round out the numbers, so if it's 6, so this one is 5.8, okay. So this would be like if it's 7 years, it's gonna be like a 6.5, something like that, very similar. So we want to keep it that way. Many software like this or many Excel program, it already calculated by itself. So you don't have to do that. You have to make sure that you know. But you never keep the same cap that you buy it to the cap that you're selling. You always keep it at least 0.1 per year. If it's 5 years, then you're gonna be half a point higher. That would be like the minimum. It was a one time that the market was bad, and then it was very aggressive, and then we're doing like a 1 point and 1.5 because we knew the rate was going up, so we were afraid what's gonna happen. So that's something which is hugely important: the disposition of the year and the cap that you're gonna go exit. So you want to start with 7 years, all your calculation. What we're going to be doing here, we're going to be looking for an annualized return to an investor at least 18%, at least 18% and higher. So what's going to happen here? We're going to start the first year. This software calculate different from many other ones. There are 2 increase that you're gonna have in every property. One of them is the organic increase. You know the market is gonna go like a 3% or 4% organically. But then you have the second part. You have the loss to lease. Everybody knows what is a loss to lease, right? If not, let me know. Okay. So everybody knows what loss to lease. So these sheets compared to other one give you access to the loss to lease. Other ones like microblank, you don't have the access. You have to calculate and compute it yourself on like a different, we have like a different box that we created so we can see it in a different way. So that's why I like this one compared to many other ones, because other people, they like the other ones, and then the other way, because here I can separate the two increase, the organic increase and the loss to lease. So the loss to lease is the different and the market that we need to capture. And we do value add. And the reason we do value add, we fix the units because we want to give excuse to the tenants. Hey, I'm gonna increase you $100, but I'm gonna change your counter. I want to put granite, or I want to change your refrigerator and whatever all this. So the tenants don't have to go, and we can increase the rate. So that's the whole idea behind. So here you have that increase, which is the 3%, 4%. Forget about the numbers that is there. 9% is very aggressive. I know I've been using this for planes, so we said 4%. 4%. Depending on the market, of course, you need to research that. Then after that, you might have another value add that is not related to the unit. That or many software, they don't have that. What kind of value add that is not related to the unit? Reserve parking had nothing to do with the units. That's an extra value add. Parcel box pickup. I would say we implementing a new laundry place, or covers parking, or trash pickup. All those had nothing to do sometimes with the unit. So that way, then we can add it here, because possible out of 100 units, only 20 of them they're gonna want to have a covered parking, not all the units. So we cannot calculate it here. So then we do it here, a calculation, and we can add it on a different line. So that's the beautiful about this, because when you give me this to review, I can ask you right away, what is this $102,000? Oh, this is a covered parking because it's coming from here to here, and then give me a quick explanation. Then I know the organic is right there, and I know the loss to lease is from here to here. I go with the loss to lease. The loss to lease, the computer calculate this amount, loss to lease, is coming from here, 256, supposed to come here. So the loss to lease then is gonna come here to what's gonna happen with the loss to lease. This one come here. Let me see the acquisition. 256, 224. Been playing a lot with this. 256, 224. It's supposed to be like that. So eventually I'm gonna have to change all this, but it's okay. I just explain so you can see it. The idea is this. The idea is that if you have a loss to lease, let's say in your rental properties, the rental units, they're $1,000, but they're renting out there. You went in the market, you look at the Costa report, you went into apartment.com, realtor.com, all that, and you see that similar properties that have the same amenities. You gotta be careful on that. Make sure they have the same amenities, and they're $200 renting higher. So you have a loss to lease of $200. So if you have 10 units, that's going to be $2,000 multiplied by 12. So what's going to happen there? The idea is that the loss to lease, we're going to calculate here, and we're going to say the first year we're going to capture only 30%, because we cannot change all the contracts at one time. Out of those contracts that are maybe expire, maybe 30% they're going to expire in the next 6 months, and the other 70% or 60% going to expire in the next 6 months. So we don't know, because we haven't gone in detail with what contract. We do that after we get the LOI, then we go deep into the rent roll. But we don't do that so we can make the LOI. It's too early. So we just calculate. We do normally 30-40%, how aggressive we want to be the first year, and then we do the next one 30%, the next year 30%. So we know that the loss to lease that we that we have to be the same as the market. We're gonna capture the 2,000 by 12, that's gonna be 24,000. That $24,000, we're gonna get like a 30% of the units, we're gonna get only 30% to be converted to the new rent. And then we're gonna do it every year periodically. That's what's gonna happen here. That's what it means here. This amount, I'm gonna come here, I say, you know what? Let me see what is a 40%. 40% is 102. So the right thing that I should do is 102. So I'm capturing 102. You see, so now 102, I'm gonna capture on loss to lease. And then I'm gonna put here 50%, 60%. I mean, yes, depending on how aggressive you wanna go, 153. Then I'm gonna capture 153. And that's the way it's gonna go. So that's the way you're gonna be doing on that part. So the calculation is there, and then you can just capture the loss to lease. This software is a little bit different from the other one, but the whole idea is that you understand that in any software that you're gonna get, there is a loss to lease involved, there is organic increment involved. You have to figure out if your software doesn't have this loss to lease, you have to figure out what amount you're gonna capture, and then let's say if a software doesn't have this ability to get the percentage, if you know the organic is 3%, and you know that the capture of the loss to lease is X amount of money, you convert it to percentage, then you add it to the 3%, maybe to 4 or 5%, and then you calculate the loss to lease and the organic. So that's it. That's the whole idea for that. After that, then you have your vacancy. We always like to do our underwriting, our vacancy to be higher than the seller. I've seen many underwriting, they keep it the same. And remember, don't get in love with the deal. Get in love with the numbers. So what's going to happen is, you imagine you're taking over the property. Guess what the seller has been doing for the last 3 months before he knew they're going to put the property for sale? Guess what? He's getting people that they don't qualify to pay the rent, because they want to give you a higher percentage occupancy. A few landlords, they're honest. 90%, they're going to capture dead body. If they can capture dead body and put it in the room, they will do it. But we call them dead body when you get somebody that doesn't qualify. So you know all those people that this guy put there, they didn't qualify for the rent. So what's going to happen at the second year? You're going to get a lot more vacancy. Another reason that you don't want the vacancy to be the same, always to be double or more, because if you're planning to rehab, if you're planning to bring the rent higher, what's going to happen? People are going to say, no way, I'm going to the other neighbor. I want to move to the other side of the highway. Or I want to go back to my mom. Or no, whatever. So people, they're going to leave because you're bringing the rent up. So you need to be ready for that. So you always keep the vacancy higher than the seller. And in the year, let's say if I decided that this year, my increment is 8% compared to other years. Let's say an example. If I increase my rent here, definitely my vacancy in the second year has to be higher. So here it's going to be like 16%. Why? Because I'm having 10% day one. I know many people is going to leave. And when I increase the rent the next year, more people is going to leave. So I'm aware of that. Something that I'll give you an example right now. We took a property recently in Texas. Listen to this. And some people, they say, wow, how that happened? The first quarter, we paying the investor more than what they were expecting. We over-delivered to the investor in the first quarter. We already sent the checks. But guess what? We took the property at 94% occupancy. Listen to this. The property today, when we sent the money, it was a 79% occupancy. The occupancy was lower, but we got more income because we knew that was going to happen. So we over-delivered even though the occupancy is lower, because we have cushion, we have way to because we know that's going to happen. The whole art of underwriting is to predict the future and the property. That's the whole art. Assumption. How aggressive are you assuming, or how conservative they are? So that's what you have to do. So have one rule: never get in love with the property. So you got the idea here. Now the next step, concessions. Anybody knows what is concession on this business?
Empty units where asset managers stay at.
Correct. That's a concession. And a manager, you give them a discount, 50% of the rent. That's a concession. You start saying, okay, free rent the first month. That's a concession. So incentive for something that we're giving. So concession, you want to keep it always like a 2%. If I would be here, I would keep it 2% because the property at 1, and then I want to get better. Then 1%, and then I could keep it at 1, 1.5, but I wanted to stabilize that concession. You want to keep it that way. Always want to keep it because remember, we're taking over the property, so we don't know what's going to happen. Then you have the utility reimbursement. Utility reimbursement is a value add. Sometimes the property doesn't have utility, the RUBS, they're not implementing utility reimbursement. So you can use this line for that. This line also, you can use it for another value add, separate from the one up here. They say they already implemented the utility reimbursement, but maybe you adding something, maybe it's a new cable, maybe something new, you can add it here at the same time. So that's something else. Now, other income, that whatever other income that already have pets, trash pickup, whatever, it's something similar like this. Now, the next one is taxes. Why we kept yellow the taxes this year? Because once you calculate the taxes, if we leave it open, taxes, insurance is two things that we don't know how it's going to behave. But taxes in different states, they go like at 20-30%. When it says here 3%, that's mean all items here, they're going to go up 3%. So maybe all this is going to go 3%, but not the taxes. Taxes sometimes cost more than 3%. So that's why we left them in yellow. Now, the debt, well, here you keep it. Remember, we need to get paid, so we keep it 2%. And debt service, when is this interest only? Here you have a calculator that it comes from the other side, and then it tells you that it's 4 or 7. If you remember here, we said, okay, I'm doing this proper with interest only. If I do 30-year amortization, I have to put 30 year, but 250 means interest only. So that debt service, if it's an interest only, you keep it the same. In this case, we have 1, 2, 3 years interest only. The rest one are amortization. Now, what are we looking for? We're looking that this year, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years to give us average. The new one that I sent you already has it, but this one I don't know. We told the person who create this to change it, and I did change it. But in this one, I got the bad one. So when I highlight it here, this one doesn't let me highlight it. The new one, yes. When you highlight it, then the percentage come here. So these cells are locked. The other one are not locked. Okay, but the point is that once you highlight it and you put 7 years, then your average is gonna come here. You wanna be a 7% minimum. And also you wanna stay here and 18% or higher, right? So here you don't, this is the loss to lease, this is the calculator, and here you get the principal down, you get it. If you don't amortize the whole cycle, then you can go into amortization table and it's gonna, you pull out the numbers already there, then you 1, 2, 3, and then if you do only 2 years, then you see what is the amount that you're gonna be the amortization. That's gonna be the principal down, 166. I took only 2 years because remember 3 years they're interest only, so it's only 2 years. It's gonna be amortized. So I'm gonna go here and that amount 165. I wanna 189 or whatever all the numbers that we play. So it will be 165 something whatever, I don't know. So it will be 165 plus, and then that's gonna be the amount that's gonna the amortization. So sell expenses somehow here is 4. If you see that the numbers doesn't make, you might go up as low as 2. When there is a property that is about 10 million, so maybe something higher. So that's basically. So that's basically about this. If you notice, it's a lot about imagination. A lot involves about imagination. So any question you have so far about this part? I went as fast as I can, and I made it just 5 minutes before. Any question?
Yeah, I was wondering, how do I get the rehab and the deferred maintenance on the first page from the OM?
No, the deferred maintenance, you get it all the time. It's gonna be $300 per door.
That's
Okay.
the,
No,
so,
well, I'm sorry, $300. No, I'm sorry. Sometimes we do that at $1,000. I'm sorry. The capital expenditure is $300. Capital expenditure, we use 1,000.
Okay.
Yeah, we use 1,000 because we don't know what the bank is gonna ask, so we be conservative. So you put 1,000, you get it. What is the other one? Deferred maintenance, and what else? You
The
said-
rehab?
No, the rehab, you come out with that. Many of them, they're gonna give you the specification. They're gonna say, like right now I'm doing one. You say 174 units, they're classic. Classic means they're no rehab. So now you're gonna ask the broker, listen, have you done any rehab? But he said, yeah, we rehab like a 50 units. How much did it cost those 50 units? Oh, it was like $8,000 per unit. Okay, then you say $1,000. And sometimes they give you a picture in the OM and they tell you, look, okay, this is a platinum and this is a classic. Platinum is a one that is already rehab. Classic is a one that is not rehab. So it's a platinum, this is classic. Then you see, you compare, and then you say, okay, and the OM usually they tell you to rehab, you need to change this. And then you get a calculation. Usually if you do minor rehabs and most of any estates, it's gonna be, to be safe, you're gonna be between $6,000-7,000. You change you resurface the counter, you do the flash, you change the refrigerator, I mean you change the appliances, you might change the carpets, things like this. And it's gonna be like a $6,000. Right now the units we're changing and the property that we have, the one bedroom is about $5,800 and the other one is close to $7,000. So some other states, the broker might tell you it's about $10,000, but you want to ask them how much they did the $10,000 because maybe it's not worth it. The reason that we're doing rehab because we want to give excuses to the tenant why we're increasing the rent, and also to compete with the other property that's in the area that's going to be the same quality. But the rehab you calculate it, and the OM should say that. If it doesn't say that, you want to ask the broker. If the property doesn't have any properties to rehab, it might not be appropriate for you. It might not be appropriate you want to deal. When it's a property that comes in the market and it says, look, 100 completely remodeled like new. Next. I don't even look at it. So what do I have nothing to do with that property? Maybe they lost to lease, but maybe that's that property for somebody that is looking to invest and keep it forever and you just get the cash flow. That's another investor. Yeah, but you get it from there. All right. Any other question? John, any question? Celeste, any question?
No,
Mary, any question you have? Say it now so you can take action.
No, I don't have. I've heard it all. I don't have any questions right now. I just need to get to do the list you drafted. It was great.
Look, like I said it before, do it, take action, do the mistakes, and that's the only way. It's okay. I mean,
Yeah.
The first time when I sent it to my coach, the first time, the first underwriting, I didn't know what the hell I was doing. And it were like a 37 mistakes. The email was forever. And it took me like a whole week to fix the underwriting. And when I fix it, we have to go to version 2. No, you did it wrong in this way. I have to version 3, I have to version 4. So we have to put versions. Version 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then finally, oh my God, I got the first one. And then it's on the second one and the third one. But it was a painful. I mean, at one time you say, you know what? I'm not good at this or whatever. No, but I never thought that way. But you might gonna come in your mind, but you have to take action and do mistakes.
Right.
Story about the forgot the name, the up to 2005, the highest earner, the woman's highest earning and at least as we know in the world. The father used to tell that girl when she was younger, you must bring a challenge that you fail every day at dinner.
True. Yeah.
Every
that's
day she
yeah.
has to bring a challenge that she failed. So you
Luis,
have to take failure for breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Luis, can you hear me?
Yes.
Is there any way for you to send me a deal and then I'll go ahead and underwrite it and then I can go ahead and, put your underwriting and my underwriting and see if I at least get some of those things right?
That's a great idea.
I feel like that's one way that I would learn, like do it.
To send you what you said at the beginning.
So to send a deal that you've already done, that you've already underwritten. And then I'll go ahead and underwrite it myself, and then you can send us the template that you use, and then we could just go ahead and compare things like that.
Yeah.
That you've
This
done
is,
already or
this is my
or that
opinion.
you play with.
This is my opinion.
Uh-huh.
Our mentor is the oldest school. He had
Mhm.
created, when you go to that office, there's no more room. It's like three floors. It's a huge office. There's no room where to put a picture of people that they're already close multifamily. There are thousands of people they did deal already with that school. There are thousands people that they send thank you, whatever, and all that, and they put the picture there. There are thousands. So what it tells you is that they know how to teach, already proven. The way they do it is this way. They tell you how to do the underwriting. They give you a lesson like I've done it before, and now you have to do it. And what happened is, if you see what I'm doing, you're not learning as much if you do the mistake. You only see the correction, but you don't see how to your mind you were able to change it. So the coach that I had, he said, we have to find the deal. We have to come up from the beginning of the deal, do the whole thing. We use a bucket list, and we call it that way, a bucket list, and we use this form. And we had to send it all messed up. And then when it came back, we have to change it. What happened is this. When you see your mistake, your mind fix the mistake. But if you don't see the mistake, how do I know you have a mistake? Because you look at my solutions. You look at my solutions, you don't see your mistake, so you're not learning as much. But now, the next step, you have to go back and fix your mistake. So your mind is changing your mistake of way of thinking. Now, if you're looking only, then you'll be acting as a robot. You don't want to be reasoning. So, Tron is sending deals, and I'm going back to him, and he has to fix it. And he's learning a lot.
Gotcha. No, it does make sense for sure.
Yeah. So when he fix it, and he send it to me, and then I review it, and I send it back to him until he get it done. Eventually, he said, "Okay, where do I get this? Like right now, where do I get the firm maintenance?" Okay. Oh, you get it from me. Oh, you see, his mind was not thinking. If I give him $300 or $1,000, he would say, "Oh, it's $1,000. Where he got it?" So there would be so many questions. So I would say that let's follow the expert to learn.
Gotcha.
So
Yeah.
the expert, they already know that that's the best way. Yeah. So I think that is better to do it that way.
Okay.
Yeah.
I will do that.
Yeah, because that way because when they send you what to do and something else, They don't tell you verbally. They tell you written because you're obligated to read. You see, I sent one of these days, I sent to Tron, I said, look, you get this from this because of this. He has to read. He's obligated to read. And now he has to go back and look to change it, but now he will remember more than if I would have told him one time. And it's already done. And it was another one that he has a question, I didn't know the question, and then we went back and forth, and then we get it done. We got it done. But now we get it, so that's the way. So I think I'm trying to follow the same way that the #1 school, the oldest school of multifamily, is doing it right now.
Okay, thank you.
That
Yeah,
part of the deal, I'm trying not to invent it because I'm not an expert in teaching.
Yeah. No, I totally understand, but I see where you're coming from, and it does make sense for sure.
Yeah. So I think that's a way. Next time I'm gonna look for some videos that our mentor has that I just gonna. They have a website of many underwriting, so I'm gonna put those one of these days. What I want to use to give you that format that I gave you earlier. Just take action. That's all you have to do. Whatever action that you can, but you have to be accountable yourself. If you take little action, it's okay, but you have to be accountable to take little action. Not just one day and then you don't do nothing on the day 2 weeks.
Yeah.
That's the point.
Yeah, thank you so much. Really appreciate all of this.
That's
Really
the point. That's the point. Yeah. All right. So
Question to you, Carolina. Are you having, like, let's say, challenge finding properties to underwrite? Is that the reason why you want to get his underwriting for a property? Is that the reason?
So we do have some properties, but it's just, I don't know if I'm doing it correctly. That's the problem. So like I watch the videos and everything. I put on the sorry. I enter the numbers and it's just sometimes it does not work for me. But I think I'm just doing it wrong. So I want to see what I'm doing wrong.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
Okay,
the way
interesting.
to know that you're doing it wrong is to send the wrong to someone to tell you what you did wrong.
that is correct. Yes.
Because you would never know what you did wrong.
So
Mhm.
would it be possible, Louis, like, let's say let's say maybe for a period of time or for a few Wednesdays that we can, like, let's say you give us properties, or we find properties, right? And then we do that, all of us, we do that underwriting. Each one of us will do their own underwriting, but then we can discuss that particular property on that
Yeah.
on that visit.
Good idea.
That's a really good idea, actually.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
You can.
So this way, like, you have 4 or 5, you have 6 people in addition, you have 7 people on this phone call. If everyone has their own underwriting for that same property, then I think the vehicle of learning will propel faster for all of us. With your guidance, of course,
Which is the same as if you take one property, you do the underwriting, and you bring it to the group.
Correct, yeah. The
And
same
then
property, but then
Stock can bring another property and bring it to the group. Celeste will bring another property full underwriting, bring it to the group. And then we discuss what is done by the group. If we do all the same, I feel like we will repeating ourselves. Because every property you knew when you learn something new.
correct, yes, very true.
Because every property is going to be different, so you learn more.
Are we here, all of us beginners in this area, or intermediate, or what are we?
I think they're all about. I would think. I think Caleb is doing already full underwriting. Caleb. By the way, Carolina, Caleb is also with MFM.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
today he cannot talk, but you can deal with him. Yeah, it's all with MFM. So so I think they're all about let's say if we do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 step,
Yeah.
I could be wrong, but I think Caleb could be like a 3. Strong would be like a 2. I don't know much Carolina. What I spoke with her, maybe it could be 2 or 1.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It would be like a 1. I think.
Like same like me.
Could be wrong, but here's an idea of what I've been talking to everyone. Crystal, I haven't seen the underwriting from Crystal, so I could not say anything.
The reason why I'm thinking this way, because even like advanced underwriters, let's say RE Mentor, the owner of RE Mentor, he wants to go and acquire another multifamily property. He doesn't depend on one person to do his underwriting, correct? Like Robert Russell, he went through he had, how many people were underwriting that property? At least 3 or 4, correct?
On the one that we closed,
Yes.
no, the way that it works is that me and Hans we cross check between each other.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
One of them underwrite it. The other one doesn't get involved. We do it
Okay.
when we finish the underwriting. Like right now, I have one, so I have to. I think we already review it. So I call Hans and I say, "Hey, I have one ready." Now he cross-check with me, and I tell him, "Why do you do this?
Okay.
Why this? Why this? Why that? Why this?" And then start giving an explanation of the whole thing. While we get it done, then we
Got it.
the Rob Russell. And
Okay.
then Russell, because he's busy, he knows underwriting super well, but he doesn't want to spend the time on reviewing it. So he has
Correct.
that he used that he give her part of his share, and he say, "Hey, review for this guy," and then we'll review, and then go to Rob. When we go to Rob, in 5 minutes he says, "Let's go," because he already done. Or in reality, you want to have a counterpartner to help you when you what you did.
Yeah.
To review it when it's finished. If you know how to underwrite, even if you know how to underwrite, you want someone to review it when you finish.
Oh yeah.
Become a devil advocate.
100% agree. Yes.
So that's the way. That's the
And
way.
then the templates that we are using, is it like can I just go?
That's the RE Mentor, but every template works.
Okay, so I can go on RE Mentor website and use a template from there?
No, they don't have that, or they don't have the template available on the website.
Oh, okay.
But
Okay.
I think I sent it to you.
I don't have a template from you. Let me see. Did you send it via email?
Old email, because we have a new email now.
Oh, you have a new email?
You just put in the chat.
Oh,
You had
okay.
an old one.
Oh, okay. Let me
I'm gonna stop
check
the
your.
recording now because I want to keep recording. It's not.
Sure. Thank you so much.